Welcome to the channel, everyone. I'm Skratch. This is another Raid Shadow Legends video. We got some juicy news from Plarium, guys. Champion Rebalance coming, of course, most probably next month because we are at the end of February. And we have some modifications coming to the Great Hall. Now, I feel like this will definitely help a lot of you guys out there. Some of these new Champion Rebalances are actually awesome, are on heroes that really needed some love. And I really think that they will become more powerful from here on. First, let me quickly talk about the Great Hall changes. So nothing will happen to the classic Arena Great Hall. That stays exactly as it is. We are talking about the area bonuses arena, guys. And right here, we are actually going to have some new additions to it. So we're going to have a new area for the Iron Twins Fortress, a new area for the Sand Devils Necropolis, a new area for the Phantom Shogun's Grove, a new area for Faction Wars, a new area for the Doom Tower, and a new area for the Cursed City. Now, of course, this will be a massive, massive problem because you will need to farm Live Arena for 25 years starting from today in order to max all that, especially if they are higher grade than what we currently have. So the whole system for Live Arena needs to have some sort of a rebalance. Or if that's not the case, the rewards in Live Arena need to be increased, especially the medals, the shields, however they're calling them, because they are pretty expensive. Now, the only things that I would recommend you to doing here is the Fire Knight, is the Hydra, and if you're really struggling to get your keys done on the Demon Lord, maybe work on it a bit as well, but the clan boss will slowly become pretty easy, accessible compared to the rest of the area, so I wouldn't want you guys to stress about it, Then, of course, the reason why I'm saying it, that it will be helpful for a lot of you guys, even for me as well, actually, the Sand Devil, the Phantom Shogun, and the Iron Twins Fortress. Even the Cursed City, like making sure that you are getting that 20% ignore defense will be massive on every single one of these areas, guys, regardless of what it is. So that will be my first thing that I'll be aiming to get as well. Get ignore defense on the Sand Devils Necropolis, because if that defense down from Raiho gets resisted, sometimes my team gets messed up, and I have like a 2% fail rate in the team, So that will help, Just focusing the ignore defense part on most of the things is pretty important. Leaving all that on the side, let's jump straight to the more important things, and that is champion rebalance. Now, I feel like this champion, she will be very strong from here on. I really wish they would give her a block revive or something like that, but unfortunately they haven't. And you probably heard me mentioning it quite a few times. Little Miss Annie. She looks so awesome, and was a shame that since the very beginning, she never really got the attention that she deserves, So on the A1, attacks one enemy 3 times. Each hit has a 50% chance of placing a heal reduction debuff for 2 turns. Now, this will change a bit as well, guys. I'm just quickly trying to make sure that I'm finding all the details. Yes. So this will have a chance of landing defense down for 2 turns as well. And the 60% defense down. So each hit will have fully booked a 75% chance to land heal reduction and defense down. That's actually pretty nice. Then, moving over to the A2. Right now, this skill, Hall of the All, attacks one enemy 2 times, places an increased attack buff on this champion for 2 turns before attacking if the target is under a shield buff, and will ignore 25% of the target's defense if they are under a shield buff. Now, it does happen most of the times for most of the targets to be under a shield buff, but they actually change the way this skill works. So right now, this skill, let me just make sure I'm going to find it. Attacks one enemy 2 times before attacking, places an increased attack on this champion for 2 turns, will ignore 25% of the target's defense, also places a perfect veil buff on this champion for 2 turns, then fills the champion's turn meter by 30%. They removed everything that made this skill conditional, so no more conditions. She's going to put increased attack, ignore defense, and get perfect veil regardless, and the turn meter, which is actually massive. You want to open with this skill, you get the increased attack. She's going to be very powerful for a lot of content now. I feel like she's definitely going to be much better. Then, the A3. At the moment, attacks an enemy, will ignore defense if the target has higher defense than this champion, destroys the target's max HP by 25% of the damage inflicted if the target has higher max HP, and will repeat the attack a second time if the target has both of them higher. So this skill will stay the same, but it will have something additional to it. Places a revive on that buff on this champion for 2 turns if this attack kills an enemy. Now, if you guys remember with one of her passive, when she revives, she actually attacks the hero that killed her, which is very, very solid. The champion, hero, toon, whatever you guys want to call all these champions or heroes, you know. Then you have the very first passive, and this is Toys Don't Die. Nothing changed on this one, actually. Stays exactly as it is. But on this one, everything that is 5% will go all the way up to 10% instead. So decreases the target's turn meter by 5% and 100% chance of destroying the target's max HP by 10%. So all this 5% basically became a 10% right now. And also heals this champion by 10% of the damage inflicted when attacking enemies under heal reduction or defense down debuffs. Will not heal from damage inflicted by masteries. So basically War Master. The rest stays the same on her. So I do think that she got a bit better. Yeah, she's definitely more solid, especially that you can veil her directly. I think she's going to be pretty impactful for Live Arena. She can take down a Roto. She can take down quite a few enemies. You know, she's definitely a force to reckon with. Moving over to the next champion, I feel like quite a few of my clanmates summoned her recently, and I summoned her a while ago. Let me see if you guys are guessing it. Supreme Atel, she's finally getting a bit of a buff, man, because she sucks. As she is right now, she's literally one of the worst voids in the game. Now, what exactly changed on this hero? Basically, we have the skill Exemplar of Stoicism. So this is the A1. This one got the damage increased. By how much? I have no idea. Okay, I cannot tell you this because they're not disclosing that information. Then we have the A2. Damage increased as well on the Cold Company, so this will get more damage as well. Attacks all enemies. Before attacking, has a 100% chance of placing a freeze debuff for 1 turn. Will ignore Strengthen, Ally Protection, and Unkillable buffs, as well as 20% of the target's defense when attacking enemies under a freeze debuff. So this is actually much better. This is exactly what's supposed to be from the beginning. Her placing freeze before she attacks, because she actually has a chance to ignore all these buffs if they are under freeze, you know? So having freeze on makes sense. The problem is that Polymorph will hit her pretty hard just in general in the higher tier arena. She will be useful now, though. At least she will be useful, you know? Ignoring defense as well will compensate for the damage mitigation from freeze. So overall, I think is a nice change, especially that her damage got increased as well. Then this skill, the A3 guys, will actually do pretty much the same thing, but on top of what she's doing already, she will place an increased accuracy on herself as well, just to help her land the freeze from the A2. And that's everything on Supreme Atel. Yeah, damage increased, changing a bit the order on the A2. I think that now she will be more useful, especially for PvE as well against waves, if you need some control. So I will finally build my Supreme Atel as well. Then we have the last hero, guys, which probably is not as important for the masses, but important for some of you guys, and that is Siegfried. So for whoever summoned this mythical champion, he will be OP, okay? Literally OP. So at the moment, you know, he's a bit bugged. The way he's changing metamorph and stuff is not that great. It's not really working as intended. Let's see what exactly they changed on this hero. So let me just first read what Plarium is saying. Siegfried Rebalance should help him fill the role of a damage dealer in the arena or take the spot in Stone Skin Cardinal style themes, where basically you instantly revive. His main form got a substantial damage increase, and with the addition of the ability to ignore 50% of the target's defense on the A3, this skill will become a wrecking machine. So this skill at the moment attacks an enemy, will attack all remaining enemies with any surplus damage if the initial target is killed, and you will ignore 50% of the target's defense. Wow, this is actually going to be very, very strong. And you have 20% damage from books. That's going to be very, very nasty. And they increase his damage too, not just the ignore defense. They're increasing the multipliers on him too. Wow, this will be nasty. I think this will be very nasty actually. Then we also buffed his defensive abilities by extending the duration of block damage buff from the Blade's passive and extending his block damage buff to the whole team on the alternate forms A3. Wow. So, starting with the very first thing, which is the A1, damage increased. So he will get more damage from here. Starting with the A2, or this is the Rage of the Nephilim. It is the A2? No. Is the A3, sorry. Attacks one enemy, ignores 50% of the target's defense, and will attack all remaining enemies with any surplus damage if the initial target is killed. Okay, my bad. They're not actually increasing... Yeah, they are increasing the damage on this. They are increasing the damage, sorry. Then... This is Meramorph, nothing there, of course. Stay the Blade. They changed something. So, places a block damage on this champion for 2 turns. So now, instead of 1 turn, this will be for 2 turns. And this is actually a nice touch. But then in the alternate form, they are actually changing a bit. Was it the A3? Yeah, this one right here. Revives all dead allies with 50% HP and 50% turn meter, then places a block damage buff on all allies except this champion for 1 turn. This will actually be placed for 2 turns instead. I feel like he will become an important hero for classic arena defense, live arena. He will be very, very important. He will be very solid for defense teams, especially now that we have the new duo against Marichka and Taras. I feel like this will be the GOAT together with Marichka from here on. Not only that he will be able to do damage, but having this support with block damage for 2 turns and stuff, he will be nasty. He will definitely be very, very nasty. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. He looks so damn badass on this form. I'm loving the design on this one. Such a badass hero. Finally getting the love that he deserves. Now, personally, I only have 2 mythicals. I have, of course, the Fusion one, Lady Mikage, and I have the Sylvan Watcher, Arbais, right? And yeah, I would love to get some more mythicals. And definitely, Siegfried seems like he is one of the best ones now in the game. I definitely think he's looking very interesting. It does depend by how much they're increasing the multipliers on him, but it does seem to be pretty solid. That was all for the video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Appreciate every single one of you guys watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.